My beloved child, pause everything you are doing right now. This message was not meant for everyone, but it found you, and that is not an accident. There are only a few minutes left. Heaven is urgent right now. Something deeply personal is unfolding around you, and Archangel Michael is moving forward because of it. Someone is quietly getting ready to ask you to marry them, not with words alone, but with intention, with courage, and with a decision that will change both of your lives. If you leave now, you might never understand why this season has felt so heavy, or why something inside you has been quietly stirring. So stay. What comes next is for you. You may have felt it lately. A restlessness you could not quite name. A certainty that something important was close, even when you could not point to what it was. Sudden thoughts about the future, arriving at unexpected hours of the night. That was not anxiety. That was your spirit responding to movement. Because behind the scenes, something has been coming together, plans made without your knowledge. Feelings held quietly, with purpose, waiting for the right moment to surface. Silence was followed by steps. Archangel Michael says, "This person has been watching you longer than you realize. They have been weighing their heart, wrestling with fear, and asking heaven for a sign. Today, you are the sign." This is not about pressure. It is not about confusion. Someone knows exactly what you are worth, even when you are not trying to prove anything. Someone who has watched you walk through disappointment and stay kind anyway. Someone who has seen you choose faith over bitterness more than once, and who made a decision somewhere along the way that a person like you is not something to lose. They are ready to take the next step, but they are also afraid. This message carries urgency because of that fear. God is lining up timing, courage, and truth all at once. Pay attention. This window is now open. The book of Ecclesiastes says this: "For everything there is a season, and a time for every matter under heaven." This is your season. Not early, not late, perfectly timed by a God who does not rush what is meant to last. Before we go any further, take a moment and think about this. Think about the last time you sat alone and wondered if someone truly saw you. Not the version of you that performs, or tries hard enough, or explains itself until it runs out of words. The real you. The one who carries quiet strength beneath a calm face. The one who keeps going even when no one is watching. The one who has loved people well, sometimes at great personal cost, and still chose to believe that love was worth it. That person, that whole and real version of you, is exactly who this message is for, and it is exactly who they see. There is something Archangel Michael wants you to understand about why this message is reaching you today, and not 6 months ago, not a year ago, not at any other point along the way when you might have wanted it more urgently than you do now. The timing was never about whether you deserved it. You have always deserved it. The timing was about readiness, yours and theirs. Heaven does not connect two people just because they feel something for each other. That happens all the time. And it does not always lead somewhere lasting. Heaven connects two people when both of them have done enough inner work to build something that can actually hold weight over time. That threshold has now been reached by both of you at the same time. That is not coincidence. That is divine coordination. Archangel Michael reveals now what has been taking place in the unseen. This person did not arrive at this moment by accident. Their journey toward you has been long, and it has not always been easy. There were moments they almost spoke up, times they drafted a message, read it back, and deleted every word. Times they stood close to you and felt everything they wanted to say pressing against the inside of their chest, and still chose silence. Not because the love was missing, but because they were not yet ready to carry the weight of what they wanted to offer you. They knew that a half-finished version of themselves was not what you deserved. So they waited. They worked on themselves in quiet, away from your view. They dealt with things they had been avoiding for too long, Archangel Michael says. This person has been wrestling between desire and responsibility, between what they felt and what they knew you deserved. That tension is not weakness. It is a sign of someone who takes commitment seriously, and it is why heaven held this back until now. You may have experienced what felt like mixed signals from them. One day fully present, the next day distant, attentive, then quiet. It confused you. It may have even hurt you more than you let on, but it was not manipulation. It was an internal war. A person trying to be ready before they made a move they could not take back. And that war has now ended. Something shifted in them recently. A moment of clarity arrived that did not feel forced or emotional. They stopped seeing you as someone they were hoping to be with someday and began seeing you as a future. As a responsibility they were finally ready to carry, as someone they could not afford to lose to silence any longer. That is when God stepped in. When human courage met divine timing. When a heart that had done the inner work finally said, "It is time." This is why the message says there are only a few minutes left. In their heart, they already know what they want to say. The execution is all that remains. Archangel Michael also speaks about the season of waiting you have lived through, because it was not random, and it was not punishment. Think about the relationships that fell apart before this one. The people who made promises they did not keep. The connections that had chemistry but not peace. That had warmth but not depth. That started well but revealed, over time, that something essential was missing. Those endings were mercies, difficult ones, painful ones. But mercies nonetheless. They cleared the path. They protected you from settling for something that looked like the real thing, but would have cost you everything. Archangel Michael says, every chapter that closed before this one was necessary. Not because you failed, but because what is coming required space to enter, and the old had to leave for the new to arrive. You may have questioned yourself through those seasons, wondered what was wrong with you, why things that worked for other people did not seem to work for you, why you kept finding yourself back at the beginning. Heaven heard every one of those prayers, even the ones you stopped saying out loud, even the ones you only whispered in the dark before you fell asleep. They were all kept, and they are all being answered now. The book of Proverbs tells us that a person of genuine worth is rare, that their value surpasses what the world places on ordinary things. Hear those words as your own name being spoken, because you are that rare. You are that worth. And this message is proof that heaven agrees. Archangel Michael now speaks about who you have become, not just about the person coming toward you, but about the transformation that has taken place inside you quietly. Over time, you are not the same person you were in your most painful season. You have changed in ways that are hard to articulate, but unmistakable. You carry yourself differently. You respond to things differently. You know things now that you could not have known without going through exactly what you went through. You have learned the difference between standards and walls. Standards protect your peace. Walls keep out everything, including what is meant for you. And you have found the balance between the two without anyone teaching you how. That balance is rare. It is one of the things this person sees in you and knows they cannot find anywhere else. Think about how differently you enter a room now compared to a few years ago. You are not trying as hard to be liked. You are not shrinking yourself to fit spaces that were never meant to hold all of you. There is a quiet, settled quality to the way you move through your days, and people around you feel it, even when they cannot name it. That settledness is what draws real love, not performance, not perfection, the quiet signal that says, I know who I am, and I am not negotiating on it. Archangel Michael says, the person coming toward you recognized that quality in you and made a decision. A person who knows themselves this clearly is someone worth choosing with the same clarity, someone worth the risk of real commitment. Pay attention to how your prayers have shifted lately. You may have noticed that you are no longer begging or bargaining with God about love. You are no longer asking from desperation, you are asking from trust. That is one of the most powerful shifts a person can make, and heaven responds to trust in a way it simply cannot respond to desperation. You have also stopped looking for someone to complete you, somewhere in the process of all you have been through. You made peace with being whole on your own, and that wholeness is exactly what makes a healthy union possible. You cannot build something lasting from two halves. You build it from two people who are already whole and choose each other anyway. Now, if this message is landing in your spirit, take a moment right now, scroll to the comments, and write these words: I am ready to receive. Not as a wish, not as a hope, as a declaration. When you write those words, you are not just interacting with a video. You are signaling to heaven that your heart is open, that you are no longer unknowingly pushing away what is meant for you, that you are present, attentive, and ready. Write it now. Let your words agree with what God is already doing in your life. And if this message has stirred something real in you, press the like button as well. That simple act is your way of saying, I am paying attention, I am here, I agree with what is being released over my life today. Do both right now, then stay. There is still more. Archangel Michael now draws your attention to the signs because proposal energy does not exist invisibly. It leaves traces in the atmosphere around you, if you know what to look for. You may have had vivid, meaningful dreams recently. Not disturbing ones, but significant ones. Dreams involving doors, journeys, conversations, or unfamiliar places that somehow felt safe. Pay close attention to how you felt when you woke from them. Peaceful dreams are a signal. They reflect a spirit that is settling into alignment. You may also have noticed changes in your daily life that you wrote off as coincidence. Obstacles that seemed fixed are beginning to loosen. Situations that felt stuck are quietly shifting. Misunderstandings with people around you are resolving themselves without you forcing anything. This is not coincidence. This is what happens when inner alignment creates outer movement. When what is taking shape in the spirit begins to rearrange the natural, Archangel Michael says, there is a protective covering over you right now. It is not loud. You will not feel it like a sudden dramatic shift. You will notice it in the small things. A conversation that could have gone badly and simply did not. A moment where you expected tension and found peace instead. That covering is present because what is being formed in your life is precious, and heaven guards precious things carefully. You may also find yourself drawn to quiet lately, less interest in noise and distraction, a preference for time alone, for reflection, for sitting with your thoughts rather than filling every moment with sound. This is not sadness. This is your spirit doing its final preparation work. When something significant is approaching, the soul naturally turns inward first. It takes stock. It clears space. It gets honest about what it is ready to carry and what it needs to release. Let that happen. Do not fight the quiet. It is working in your favor. Archangel Michael also says, watch what rises to the surface emotionally in the days ahead. Old memories may appear, not to pull you back, but to show you how much distance you have covered. The things that used to break you now feel different, not because they did not matter, but because you have grown past them. That is closure arriving without announcement. That is your heart making room. Pay attention also to the quality of your conversations lately. Certain exchanges may have felt more significant than usual, more weight beneath the words, more honesty moving beneath the surface of ordinary interaction. Some of you will feel a strong pull toward honest conversation in the coming days. Do not suppress that. When the moment arises, let yourself be real. You do not need to initiate anything forcefully. Authenticity has already done the preparation work. The person getting ready to step forward has also been noticing changes in you. Your boundaries, your quiet strength, the way you move through the world with a calm confidence that was not always there. They see that you have learned to protect your peace without closing your heart, and that has accelerated their resolve. They know that if they delay any longer, the door may close, and they are no longer willing to take that risk. Archangel Michael also wants to address the doubt that some of you are feeling right now. A part of you wants to believe this is real. Another part of you is watching from a careful distance because you have hoped before, and it did not go the way you expected. That caution is not a flaw. It is wisdom earned through experience. But there is a difference between wisdom and fear. Wisdom observes. Fear retreats before anything has even happened. Archangel Michael says, "Do not let old fear speak louder than present truth. The past shaped you. It does not own your future. And here is what you need to trust right now. The peace you feel when you sit with this message is not wishful thinking. Peace is your confirmation signal. When confusion enters, it brings noise. When truth arrives, it brings stillness. Notice which one is present in you right now. If this message is resonating with your spirit, share it right now with someone who needs to hear it. Someone in your life who has been waiting for a sign that their season is changing. Someone who needs to know that heaven has not forgotten them. When you share this, you are not just passing along content. You are extending something real to someone who may be standing at their own crossroads today. And God sees when you choose to help someone else find clarity. Also, subscribe to this channel if you have not already. This is not a one-time message. This is a space of ongoing spiritual preparation for people who want to stay aligned, stay grounded, and remain spiritually awake through every season they face. Stay connected. You will want to be here for what comes next. Archangel Michael now speaks about the moment after, because this is where many people are unprepared, not for the proposal itself, but for what follows. When truth is spoken, your first response will be the most important one you give. Not because you have to perform, but because your heart's response in that moment will be shaped entirely by how you have prepared in the season leading up to it. If you have spent this time bracing against disappointment, you will receive truth defensively. If you have spent it opening yourself to what heaven is doing, you will receive truth from a place of peace. Archangel Michael says, your response even before the proposal happens matters. Your openness, your willingness to be emotionally present instead of distracted or defended. All of this creates the space for the moment to unfold the way it is meant to. You may feel a wave of emotion when it comes. That is allowed. You may feel surprise, even if some part of you already knew. That is allowed too. What heaven asks is not that you perform the right reaction. It asks that you be real. Real is what this person is choosing. Real is what they need back. Some of you have carried the weight of past disappointments for a very long time. You learned to smile while guarding, to hope quietly, so that if it did not work out, the fall would be softer. To keep a part of yourself back, just in case, Archangel Michael honors that endurance. Every wound you carried without complaint, every prayer whispered when you had stopped saying prayers out loud, every morning you got up and chose to keep going. Heaven kept account of all of it, and it is responding now. But here is what he also says. The survival skills that protected you in painful seasons are not what you need in this one. The walls that kept you safe when things were uncertain are not what you need now that clarity is arriving. Let them down. Not all at once, gently. The way you open a window after a long winter, because this person is not coming to take from you. They are coming to build with you. And building requires both people to show up fully, with their whole selves present. The book of Luke carries a promise that is alive right now in your life. Give, and it will be given to you. a good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. This is not only about what you give financially or materially, it is about what you give emotionally, spiritually, and in faith. You have been giving for a long time. You have poured yourself into people and seasons that did not always pour back. But God keeps accounts that we cannot see. And what you gave in faith, in love, in patience, and in courage is being returned now with overflow. Archangel Michael says, this union is built on alignment, not on impulse, not on chemistry alone, not on the thrill of a new beginning. It is rooted in maturity, in shared values, in a mutual willingness to grow through difficulty rather than walk away from it. That is why heaven is backing it. That is what makes it different from what came before. Now, as this message continues to settle, Archangel Michael speaks to something very specific, the sustainability of what is beginning. Every connection starts with a moment, but it is not the moment that determines whether it lasts. It is what happens in all the ordinary moments that follow, the mornings that are not romantic, the conversations that are not easy, the times when love is a decision more than a feeling. The person preparing to step toward you understands this. Archangel Michael says they have moved past the stage of romanticizing the idea of being with you. They are now in the stage of taking responsibility for it, asking themselves not only, do I want this, but am I ready to carry it well? That shift is everything. Heaven does not honor beginnings. It honors commitment. And this person has reached the point of commitment before the question has even been asked. Watch for consistency as this unfolds. More than grand gestures, look for steady presence. The truth of someone's intentions is always revealed through what they do when it is inconvenient, when it costs something, when showing up requires effort, not just excitement. Love that lasts is proven in those moments. And Archangel Michael says, you will see that kind of love demonstrated here. There is something else worth naming here. For some of you, receiving love consistently has been harder than giving it. You know how to pour out. You know how to show up. But when someone tries to show up for you, something in you gets uncomfortable. It does not feel safe to let someone care for you without bracing for the moment they stop. Archangel Michael speaks directly to that. He says, the healing that has been taking place in you includes this. You are learning to receive without deflecting, to let someone choose you without immediately questioning their motives, to allow care in without treating it as a liability. This is not easy for people who have had to be strong for a very long time, but it is necessary. Because the person coming toward you wants to be allowed in fully, and your willingness to let that happen is part of what heaven is preparing you for right now. Do not perform ease if you do not feel it yet. Be honest. Real love can hold honesty. It does not need you to be fully healed before it will commit to you. It just needs you to be willing to heal with someone present. That is the kind of love that lasts, built from honesty, not performance, from presence, not perfection. This is also where your discernment becomes your most important gift. You have been sharpened through everything you have survived. You can detect sincerity now in ways you could not before. You can feel the difference between someone who wants a moment and someone who wants a future. Trust that. Your discernment is not paranoia. It is wisdom. And it is one of the most valuable things you bring into this next chapter. Now, to those of you who have stayed until this point, who have felt every word of this message land somewhere real and personal in you, there is something Archangel Michael wants you to know. This message reached you because something in your spirit was ready to receive it. You did not come here by accident. Heaven directed your steps to this moment. And if these words have served as genuine confirmation for what God is doing in your life, there is a simple way to honor that. If you feel moved, the super thanks button below this video is there for you. It is not required. It is not something you have to do. But for those who feel that this word found them at exactly the right time, pressing it is your way of marking this moment. Your way of saying, I was here. This reached me. I am grateful. Heaven sees every act of gratitude. The scripture that tells us to give, and it will be given to you, is alive right now. And gratitude expressed in faith is never lost. It always returns. Now this final word brings closure and blessing, not an ending, but a completion of what has been spoken. You were not brought to this message by chance. You did not stumble here without purpose. This is a direct word from Archangel Michael to you, spoken at a time your spirit was ready to receive it. And this is what he wants to leave you with. The waiting was not a punishment. It was preparation. The delays that frustrated you were doing something in you that speed would have prevented. You were being shaped, refined, and made into someone who could receive what is coming without losing themselves in it. And so were they, on a parallel path, learning parallel lessons, becoming the person who could finally show up for you the way you deserve. You are now standing at the entrance of something new, not as someone who survived long enough to be rewarded, but as someone who grew, who chose faith over bitterness, who kept their heart open even when it cost something real. That is who you are. That is what this moment honors. Archangel Michael stands as a witness over everything that has been spoken today, and he leaves you with this. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the choice to move forward even when fear is present. That choice has already been made in you and in them. Heaven has seen it, and heaven has responded. So receive this with stillness in your heart. Walk forward with clarity. Trust your discernment. Hold your peace. You are not late. You are not overlooked. You have not missed your season. You are prepared, and you are ready. As this holy moment closes, seal it with one final act. Scroll to the comments right now and write one word. Amen. Not as a routine response, not as a reaction. As a holy yes. As your spirit saying to heaven, I agree with what has been spoken over my life. I receive it. I trust it. I believe it. So be it. Write it now. Let it be the last thing your fingers do before you carry this word out into your day. You were meant to be here. Heaven is glad you stayed.